Welcome to Almost Fast Racing. We finally got another race car in. This is my 1988 BMW 325i. Hopefully with a straight 6 and a limited slip rear differential, it'll be a bit faster than the MG was, and hopefully a bit more durable and reliable. But who knows? I'm still the one driving it. Alright, so I picked up this 1988 BMW 325i. Everything worked on the car, so passed inspection, was ready to drive, ready to go right out of the box, or used box. Took it autocrossing as soon as the season opened up. Went to my very first autocross event. This is a flashback video way before the MG, like 4 or 5 years. I was terribly slow, so the driver mod needs some modification. The car's brakes were pretty much terrible. I mean, they're good on the street, but once you're autocrossing, it's a little bit different. The interior is complete, so there's lots of ripped up and old and heavy interior bits and seats and everything like that. The seats were eBay special, and they were broken a little bit, so they were wobbling all over the place. But the first autocross, had a ton of fun, and I was hooked. And even outside of autocross, so just driving around in the street, it was a blast to drive. It was a little bit tail happy, so you could have a little bit of fun with it. And eventually it became a little bit too much fun. What happened was I ended up breaking a rocker arm, but then I checked into it more, and one of the pistons was not moving. So let's get this engine disassembled and see what's wrong with it. I've never worked on an engine before besides like oil change and spark plugs, so this will be interesting. So we're gonna take the motor all the way out of the car, get it completely disassembled, and find out what's wrong with it. See if it's a cheap fix, easy fix, or if this is gonna be a project. And it's gonna be a project. So it's a broken connecting rod, like a shattered connecting rod, and lots of metal chunks all over the engine. That's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be connected like all the other ones. So I'll just pop that back in there. So we picked up another motor that we found on Facebook Marketplace. We got that popped in, wired up. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's try this wiring thing again. Alright, well, it's trying to start, so it just might need to pull a little bit more fuel from the fuel pump, although we did not check this engine at all before we put it in the car or before we bought it, so it could have no compression for all I know. So let's give it another go. You got to start it without headers before you actually put the full exhaust back on, and she runs, so it's good to go. Let's take it for a test drive, make sure it actually works under load and the clutch is good and I didn't screw anything up, because again, I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright, so before we autocross it again, we're going to replace all that worn out stuff like the struts, the springs, and the brakes. And we're going to do it all super safely. We also got new wheels and new tires. So they're not quite racing slicks, but, you know, they're barely DOT approved. So as good as we can get. Looks nice, lowered back on the ground. It's not quite slammed, but it's enough. And on the road, it grips like crazy. So time to take it racing again. And the alternator went out. So that was that. And next event ended up losing to a stock BMW E30 Convertible. So the driver mod needs a ton of work, but I have big plans for this chassis in the future. It's a beautiful car. Can't wait to get it restored and get a new paint job on it all nice. But in the meantime, we want to do some actual track racing, and for that, we're going to need a coupe. So stay tuned to see how we figure that problem out. Thanks for watching.